On September 24 to 26, 2025, large protests in Ladakh demanding statehood and special protections for Ladakh escalated into violent clashes. Multiple news outlets report that buildings in at least one political office were torched, police opened fire during clashes, and 4 people were reported killed during the unrest. Authorities imposed curfew-like restrictions and suspended mobile internet in Leh. In the immediate aftermath, authorities detained prominent activist Sonam Wangchuk. The center also canceled the FCRA license of an NGO linked with him and opened or intensified probes into alleged financial violations. Government sources and several outlets say Wangchuk has been accused of provocative statements. He denies incitement and has blamed long-term frustration in the region for the violence. To understand why this escalated, we need to go back to 2019, when Jammu and Kashmir was bifurcated and Ladakh became a union territory. That removed the previous state-level autonomy and left Ladakh without an elected legislature, a source of long-running grievance. Local groups and activists have pushed for either full statehood or inclusion under the 6th schedule of the Constitution to protect land, jobs, and culture. In recent weeks, local disputes, including controversy over land allocation for projects and strong feelings about the pace of promised development, acted as triggers. A high-profile hunger strike by Sonam Wangchuk drew a large crowd and media attention. Protests around that strike became the immediate focus before the violence. According to eyewitness accounts, leaders tried to keep protests peaceful, but crowds swelled and clashes followed. On September 24 to 26, the protests turned violent. Arson, looting of a few sites, including a political office, and clashes with police. The sequence of who did exactly what, who started the arson, and who fired the first shot is still contested and will require forensic investigation to establish properly. Human rights groups and press accounts confirm the deaths and injuries, while authorities say they used force to restore order. Now comes the question of who's being blamed. Many protesters and local organizations say the unrest was a spontaneous outburst of long-term anger over governance and loss of rights since 2019. At the same time, political accusations are flying. The BJP has published images and posts identifying a local Congress councillor as a participant seen in protest footage, alleging he helped fuel the unrest. Congress has disputed those identifications and called them politically motivated. The presence of a Congress leader in some footage is acknowledged, but whether that proves orchestration or incitement is disputed and under investigation. Another layer of allegations points to foreign hands. Some leaders suggest that external forces may be trying to exploit unrest to destabilize India, pointing to patterns in neighboring countries like Bangladesh and Nepal. These are serious claims, but so far no public intelligence dossier has been released proving direct foreign state orchestration. For now, these remain political allegations under probe. Meanwhile, the center is emphasizing protective measures already announced. 85% reservation for locals, a 15-year domicile rule, 1/3 reservation for women in hill councils, and recognition of 5 official languages. These were meant as safeguards, but they haven't quelled the larger demand, full statehood. That brings us to the crucial question: what happens if Ladakh is made a state? The benefits are clear. First, elected representation. Statehood would give Ladakh its own legislature and government, ensuring local people have a real say in laws and administration instead of rule by centrally appointed officials. Second, stronger constitutional safeguards. Statehood can provide enforceable powers over land, jobs, environment, and taxation. Third, focused development planning. A state government can set priorities for infrastructure, healthcare, and education. And fourth, political legitimacy. Granting statehood could defuse a core grievance, reducing the energy behind constant agitation, and giving leaders a proper institutional channel. But there are also risks. Ladakh is a sensitive border region, sharing boundaries with both China and Pakistan. Some argue that statehood could complicate the center's ability to make swift strategic decisions. Another concern is demographic and resource management. Who qualifies as a resident and who controls natural resources could become flashpoints. The 15-year domicile rule and 85% reservation attempt to manage this, but these measures could also create legal battles and social tensions. Third, political polarization and legal risk. Rapid statehood without consensus might deepen divides. And fourth, administrative capacity. A new state would need to build institutions, bureaucracy, courts, public services, which takes time and resources. In short, statehood could solve the democratic deficit, but must be carefully designed with safeguards for security, minority rights, and economic inclusion. It is not an automatic fix. This is a complex moment. Grief and anger in Leh, political accusations in New Delhi, and debate over the future of Ladakh. Whether Ladakh moves toward statehood, greater protections under the Sixth Schedule, or continues as a Union territory with enhanced safeguards, the coming weeks, especially the outcomes of the Center's scheduled talks, will decide if the region calms or protests flare up again. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll update the pinned comment with a detailed article and further reading, so you can check the facts yourself.